Hi guys, back again for the final PlayStation Collection video. So, as you can see, there's a couple of games here to go through. This time, hello Kitty, this time we have quite a few more games to get through. So this one's probably going to be quite a long one actually. Maybe I shouldn't have done it in this format. But hey ho, we are here and let's go through it. I mean, this time around, I have actually played a lot more of these games. So just like this, let's get started. So let's start off first with the old special editions. First up, we have got Reverie, which is a limited edition. This is one of the smaller ones, so I probably should have picked this up last. As we can see, it's numbered 365, so it's quite a low print one. I can't remember what the print number exactly is, but this is from East Asia Soft. Which come all the way from Japan. However, they do a lot of English games. Oh, Fidgets here, as I say, high production value. Next up, this one's a fantastic special edition. Originally a Wii game, but absolutely fantastic. Sort of like a 2D RPG, hack and slash RPG. So we'll put that there. Oh, no, this one is really good. One I recently picked up. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon for the Vita. Unfortunately, this doesn't have a slipcover like the Switch one does to signify what actually the system should be. But this, I can tell you, is the Vita. Well, actually, I hope it is anyway, because that's the one I ordered anyway. Who knows? Until you unseal it, you'll never know. It could even be the Switch one. So that was a bit of a disappointment there. Limited run games. Next up, we have got Shantae, the Half Genie Hero. This is the American one. I believe this is quite a rarity to get it on Switch. This version on the PlayStation 4 is 10 a penny, but I think the Vita one is quite rare, as well as the UK version. Oh, hello, you can see myself there. Hello. The UK version of Axiom Verge in the Multiverse package. So, yeah. That's a nice one there. So that's all my special editions. So let's go through the normal games. First up, an absolutely fantastic game, Gravity Rush. As you probably can see here, the Vita actually didn't have many manuals. Whether or not this one did, I really don't know. So it's kind of a bit, if you're buying it on the second hand scene, it can be a bit of a minefield. Ease Origins, fantastic game. Another limited run game, one I really can't wait to play. The Ease games are actually a favourite of mine, sort of like a action adventure game. People call them on RPG as well, a bit like Zelda basically. Next up, another limited run game, another sealed game in fact, Zeo Drifter, sorry. Another fantastic game. It's like a Metroidvania style game. Probably takes only a couple of hours to complete. Quite an easy-ish game, but a lot of fun all the way. Very colourful 8-bit style RPG. Metroidvania. This is an RPG. This comes with, well, this one actually has a very cool special edition where you actually get a baby's bib with it. So this is Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Great Curry God. What a fantastic name that is. I mean, yeah. Sometimes it's all about the names on these games that really draws me to them. So next up, we've got Silent Hill, Book of Memories. Now, actually, I never realised this. I actually bought this from... I'm really gutted now. I actually bought this from Granger Games years and years ago. And it was quite early on into my Vita, or really modern style collecting, and I bought it new, and it never came with a manual, and I definitely know it definitely had a manual, but what I've just noticed is this actually has an American ratings on the back, and it has got Peggy on the front, but if you notice, that's actually a sticker. So I'm very gutted about this. I knew this was second hand, because it actually had like sort of scratches on the front there, which I noticed very early on, so very disappointed in Granger Games. However, when I say bought it new, it still only cost £6, which I think is it's actually starting to rise quite a lot recently. With Vita games, it's region free, as is the PSP before it. Uncharted, again, another one without a manual. This is when PlayStation actually supported the system, and yeah, you could tell this is a great game, a great addition to the Uncharted series. The thing that you just hear drop them, this is probably one of the most expensive items I actually paid for in this collection, and it's just a little card here like this. So this is the 64GB memory card, which served me very well up until the point where I had to dismantle my Vita and I forgot to take it out. And if you can see there is a little chip there, and that chip has rendered this useless. I think this costs like 80 quid. That's how ridiculously expensive the Vita memory cards used to be. Fortunately, I had a couple spare lying about, so that was okay. Next up, we've got Wolf Among Us, which is, well, it comes with something, but it's not a Wolf Among Us manual. Another American game. I think this was an actually American exclusive. So this is a Telltale Games sort of point and click, sort of story based kind of game. Really good. Really enjoyed this. I really enjoy the Vita for that kind of a style of game. Now, Volume. This is another limited run game. It's got a nice gold leaf sort of cover. This plays very much like the Metal Gear Solid special missions, or the VR missions where you're playing from above. I really enjoyed this game. It's sort of like a puzzle sort of stealth game. So really cool. You really need to update this before you actually play this. When I played this, I was getting through all the levels and I didn't get any achievements. And then I came home and updated it, and then half my achievements popped, but a lot were missed. So yeah, I have probably got a lot more achievements on this game that have been lost to the bad update, really. So it was a bit of a shame. Next up, we're back to the limited run stuff. As Divine Hearts, just an old school style RPG. Really love this style of game. This is going to get opened one day and played. This is something that I'm really looking forward to playing, to be honest. I don't really know much about the story, but I was just buying them because at the time there was one a month, so it was quite affordable. Again, this another limited run game. They didn't really put much limited run stuff on the packaging back in these days. This is quite early on. I'm not too sure what this. Again, this is another style of RPG, but I think it's very unique. Dungeon crawler, goes above ground, a roguelike RPG with a twist, which is something to do with the auto scrolling, as it says there. So yeah, one day look forward to playing that. One I have played, which is Senran Kagura Estival Versus. As you can see, some naughty bits on the front cover there. Oh, very risky on the back. This, yeah. So I wonder what made me get to play this game quite early on. Yeah. So this is sort of like a horde style fighter, really, where you have like very over the top jumps and you brawl against hundreds of enemies, basically. Really fun game, but yeah, it's very, as I say, risque. As are quite a lot of Vita games, really. Next up, we've got Riddle Corpses EX. This is a sort of a twin stick shooter. Again, another limited run game. I think there was only 999 of these that was made. Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. Took me a while to get this, as it was from Red Art Games, and they had a really rocky start, but they seem to have got themselves sorted out recently. So yeah. Next up, Sly Trilogy. This is an absolutely stellar game. In fact, let me just... Oh, that's okay. What's good about this game is it's basically the PlayStation 2 games, 1, 2, and 3 all in one. And I bought this new, and this is what I was checking for. I was making sure that the voucher's not being used, because I played the first 2 games of these on the Vita, but I've still not played the third one, and unfortunately the third one isn't on the cart. It is a download only one, so I need to hurry up and download that before the service is actually removed. And going from there, we've got Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, which is the fourth one in the series. This actually, once you have this on your system, you can actually then play it on the PlayStation 4. Again, look, this was a new one, and it didn't come with a manual, so there we go. So you can actually play between playing it on the PlayStation Vita and then straight onto the PlayStation 3, as it says there. Cross-play, save your progress and continue on either system. So yeah, it was a really great idea. It was like the Switch. It was very above before its time. Along with that, what was it called? Riddled Corpses. I got Ice Cream Surfer. This is again from Red Art Games. It's an okay game. It's very much like a mobile phone game. Probably not worth as much as I got it for, but for some reason, even though there was 999 copies of these, they seem to be selling this for like a year and a half. And it went down to about 10 quid, which was probably worth picking up, to be honest. Next up, we have got Danganronpa 2. So this is, again, one of Vita's strong points, which is the sort of visual novel style game. I've only played a couple of them. I'm not very good at reading. I'm dyslexic, so it's not really a good start. But I've heard a lot of good things about these, and I really do want to dig into one of these one day. I did play a visual novel once. It took me like 80 hours to complete, but yeah, looking forward to playing this one day. The third one is quite a rarity as well, which I don't think I've got. We'll find out soon. A limited run game, and as you can see, this one is open, and again, nothing inside, unfortunately. So this is a very old school RPG. Love that. Love the art style. It's just nice turn-based battles at its finest, really. Not too much faff, just right, really. Next up, we have got Lumines. This has been quite a lot of systems. This one does come with a manual. As I say, I think the earlier games really did. So this is number 61. So, I mean, you probably know what Lumin is by now. It's sort of like a music puzzle rhythm game. It's got artists from the LCD Sound System, Goldfrapp, Milo, Chemical Brothers. I mean, yeah, it's quite a fun little game. I've even played it on a mobile phone back in the day when we had like actual buttons on the phone. Retro City Rampage DX. This is quite a limited run game. It's not by limited run games or anything. It's by V Blank, who actually develop it. They released a few games, not many, just only the ones that they've actually made. I probably shouldn't have put this into my bag on the way to work, because I actually damaged the front cover. But never mind. Yeah. Great fun. I very much preferred this one than the sequel, but the sequel's still good. It's sort of like GTA, but with like a lot of comedy in it. So, and very retro indeed. Freedom Wars. I did start playing this, and I need to go back to it, to be honest. It's sort of like another Monster Hunter style game. Pretty cool. Not much more to say about that one. It seems to be everyone had that at the early days of Vita collecting. Next up, we've got Galgun Double Peace, originally an Xbox 360 game, and then it was ported over to Vita in English finally, because it was Japanese only. But yeah, Double Peace, I think it's something to do with the fact it is a remaster. Yeah, so this is sort of like an on-rail shooter, sort of like your Time Crisis. But again, with scantily clad girls, yeah, it's quite a pervy game, but actually quite a good game. There's quite a lot more depth to it than you think. Corpse Party Blood Drive 1, I'd love the original on the PSP one day, actually. Sort of a horror-based RPG, I believe it is anyway. Yes, pretty cool. At least the original PSP one was. Really cool. Sort of, again, it's got this sort of like cute girl sort of look to it as well. That seems to be in a lot of them. Volume, Thomas, no, not Volume. I just read that as Volume. Thomas Was Alone, so another limited run game. So this is a sort of a very basic looking block sort of platformer. Supposedly really good. I need to go get this so I can play it because it does look pretty good. And another game that really is absolutely fantastic. Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed. I can't remember getting this, to be honest. I didn't even know I had this on the Vita. I think I must have got this because I wanted to actually play it on the go, just for like little quick races here and there, which, I mean, the Vita is perfect for. Persona 4 Golden, wow. I put quite a lot of time in this. I'm pretty certain there is a PAL version of this one as well, but I think I got this because it was cheaper. Yeah, great game, fantastic game. In fact, originally a PlayStation 2 game, but this has got uprated visuals, I believe, and quite a lot more like storyline to it. Only thing that lets it down for me is it's based in a school, so there's a lot of like matchmaking and like just going around the schoolyard and trying to make friends, which is a bit weird. One I just saw Dylan talk about, Futuridium. He was influenced by the Gebs to get this. I think that because that was his favourite YouTuber. But that being said, this does look like a pretty good game. I think it's sort of like a bit of a old school shooter-y kind of game. Can't remember. I think I have played it, even though it isn't a seal. I would get quite a few of these on sale for a couple of quid afterwards. Now this is what started off the limited run buying for me. I missed out Breach and Clear, which was the first one, and then Saturday Morning RPG came. Hello Fidget again. We've got another manual here. Now the reason why I've got this is because on here is I wanted to play this game. It's quite a cool, very basic RPG. But has got like all the Saturday morning kind of nods to it. There's quite a lot of humour if you know your old cartoons and stuff. But this never came out on the European stores at the time. So the only way for us to play this over here was to buy this. And back then, it was very early storefront. There was quite a lot of delays to get this. I think it was supposed to come out for sale one day, and then it got delayed, and then it got delayed, I think, a couple of more times. And when it actually did come out, I completely forgot about it, missed it. And then I had to get it from a scalper for about 40 quid, which I think this probably goes for a little bit more than that even now. So yeah, that really started off the limited run games, and I didn't want to miss one again for some time until it became a couple of games out every week. Muramasa, we showed the big box of that. Great game, fantastic game, in fact. Really enjoy that. So we've got Super Dementia Neptune Sega versus Hard Girls. So the Sega Hard Girls, if no one knows, there is girls dressed up, or at least not dressed up. They are the Sega Mega Drive, the Sega Game Gear, the Sega Saturn, the Sega Dreamcast. So you're basically fighting as the consoles, but as girls. So I think that's like the Mega Drive one there. There we go. We've got the Dreamcast one there with the Dreamcast headgear and stuff like that. So yeah, it's part of the Sega Super Dimension Neptune, which is a big sort of RPG series. I've not actually played any of them yet. I really want to. I've heard they're quite good, and this is one I really want to get around to. Another is this Red Art Games, strictly limited games. This is number 1681. I'm sure there was only supposed to be 1,500 of these, so I know there's one game that has got more than, I've got a number higher than what you're supposed to be for. But yeah, this is a shooter, or a shmup as some people like to call them. Supposedly pretty good game, and hopefully I'll get that cheap on a sale soon so I can play it properly. Next up, we've got Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins Twin Pack. Now, this one is quite a rarity, or at least I believe so anyway. It took me quite a long time to get the English one. As you can see, there we go, it's all in English. The French one and the Russian one seems to pop up quite a lot, but I finally found this one, which is really good. The Rayman games are quite good, but not as good as the originals. Now, this game is absolutely amazing. I'm sure I've played this, but yeah, it's sealed. So maybe I need to get around to playing it again. I'll need to check my achievements and see what ease it is. Maybe it was ease 7 I played, maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, it was on the Vita I played it on, and I know it is a great game. I think this, oh no, it is, yeah, it was ease 7 I played, so hopefully I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, ease, great, fantastic series of games. Next up, we've got Final Fantasy X and X2. Let me just double check. Yeah, let me just turn that around. Again, another one of those games where you get the first one on the card, and then X2 is a download only. So yeah, I was just showing my code off because I did buy this brand new. So you can see there's a manual in there. Fantastic game, plays really good on the Vita. Unfortunately, I got to the final boss, and it beat me like most Final Fantasy seems to. Disgaea 4, fantastic series, another one without a manual. It's a strategy RPG with just tons of humour. Great game. It's on PlayStation 3 as well, that one. The Walking Dead Season 2, and why not Walking Dead Season 1 as well. This is how I initially played these Walking Dead games, on the go, and yeah, physically as well. So yeah, if you don't know about The Walking Dead, this is it's very different to the TV series. It's got a whole brand new cast of characters, and the storyline between these two is just heartbreaking. You need to watch it. Well, I say watch it. It is kind of like you watch it. You've got you make choices as the story goes along, as all Telltale games kind of do. I'm sure people know Telltale games by now, but yeah, fantastic. Absolutely recommend getting these. And I say, great on the go. There is a bit of frame rate issues, but you can get past that. Well, at least I could anyway. Army Corps of Hell. Oh my goodness, this is a great game. Oh, there's a code there. No one steal that. I don't even know what it's for. I've actually played this. I've not completed it. What I believe this is like is like a hell-based style Pikmin kind of game where you have little armies and you throw your armies. You are like a god or whatever, and then you have to throw your little minions to do stuff, to do little tasks and everything. Great little game, fantastic game. Hidden gem, some people might even say. Rainbow Moon. So this is another JRPG style game. There is a few games in the Moon series. I've still not played it. I should do, really. I should really play it. This was back when East Asia Soft started joining in with Limited Run. And then I think that's when this is when they realised they need to actually start just publishing games themselves. I think this was just a tester to see what this Limited Run business was. So this was back Limited Run number 15. East Asia Soft now do their own limited games and do, I would say, pretty much a better job of it, to be honest. Akiba's Trip, or as people see it as Strip, Undead and Undressed. So basically, you're going around Tokyo trying to get people naked because they're vampires, and the more skin that's exposed to the sun, the easier it is to kill them. So yeah, really cheesy game, but actually really good. Well, at least I thought so anyway. Tear Away, fantastic game. A game back when PlayStation really cared for the Vita, really. So this is sort of like a isometric sort of platformer, 3D platformer. It's got unique little touch devices to utilize the Vita how it should be done. So you can bounce the character up by hitting the bottom of the Vita like I am there. But yeah, really cool, great graphic style. So this is a Vita game that kind of turned me into a scalper, really. I mean, to be honest, we all did it, didn't we? But to get this version of Oddworld's Stranger's Wrath, we had to buy all 3 different copies of this game, and then it came with that one. Or was it or did you buy 2 different front covers and then you got this one? Because there was different cover, because this is when they started doing multiple covers, and this one was the first one they did that did an exclusive limited edition, and the only way you could get this was to go to one of the expos or something like that. But they did a very, very limited run where you could buy it, as I say, as a multi-pack, and I bought the multi-pack for, I think it was only like 80 quid for 3 copies of this, and I sold the other 2, the remaining 2, or maybe even 3, for 80 quid each. So I made my money. So this game was absolutely free, and you probably can buy this for like about 100 quid now. Probably. So yeah, limited run helps turn you into a scalper. At least it did me back in them days. Tokyo Tattoo Girls. Yeah, I don't really know much about this game. It's got tattoo in the title, and it's got girls in the title, and Tokyo. 3 things I aspire to, and yeah, I just had to buy it. I say I played a lot of these games, but look at them all. They're all flipping sealed, but they will all get played. So, Yomawari Midnight Shadows. I believe this is sort of like a very dark-based, almost survival horror, isometric style adventure game, really. So yeah, really looking forward to playing this. There is a sequel to this. I think this is actually the sequel to the other one, and I think I'm missing the other one, and that's why I'm waiting to actually play that. So I just need to play it in order. Risk of Rain, I thought this is something else. This is another limited run game. As you can see, I've opened it up. So this is sort of like a run and gun, but like a little bit, but it's a bit like a run and gun crossed with Defender, I would say. It's probably the best way to describe it. There is a sequel to this. Pretty cool. I couldn't get on with it enough to complete it. We've got Trails of the Cold Steel 1 and Trails of the Cold Steel 2. Now these are another bunch of RPGs, not limited or anything, but I think these are they're by Falcom, so that's part of the guys that do the Wise games. Yeah, supposedly these are really good games. It's a long series of games from the Legend of Heroes that stems back all the way to the Super Famicom. Cammy's coming over now. She wants to know what's up. So another limited game. This one by Red Art Games. Look at this. It's open and it's not even in. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's quite a good game. It's just a port of a PlayStation 2 game. I had to use a lot of cheats to complete it, but I completed it, and that's the main thing. Lone Survivor, the director's cut. I think I've got a second copy of this somewhere. Yeah, it's quite a good 2D 8-bit style survival horror game. Not much more to say to it than that, but it was quite good. Quite a fun one. FIFA 13, just got it because it was like 50p from the car boot, and I never see Vita games at the car boot. Next up, we've got Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Yeah, I just thought I fancied playing one-on-one fighter games, and I thought, you know what? Let's get it on the Vita because I'll play it a bit more, and I want to get a bit of practice in, and I thought that was the best way to do it. Still not played it yet. We've got another one of the Danganronpa games. This one is a spin-off, Trigger Happy Havoc. Yeah, again, I've not really played it, but I think I got it cheap, so that's why. Resistance Burning Skies. So I think this is just like a first-person shooter. Again, back when the days when PlayStation cared about what they was making. Yeah, not my kind of game. I don't think anyway. It looks kind of maybe all right. First-person shooter. It came with the Vita when I bought it, so it's just in the old collection. Oh, touch my cat and Marty. As I say, these games are fantastic. Flipping love them. Yeah, so basically you can use the only thing that puts me off this game is you can use touch controls to like sort of stretch the Katamari, which you could never do before. So it added a new control scheme to it, but kind of, yeah, it took the fun out of it a bit, I think, because obviously the touchscreen wasn't perfect all the time. This is the game I played. Ys Memories of Selketa. This is Ys 7. So yeah, absolutely fantastic game. Just hack and slash action RPG at its finest. Sorry about the clicker clatter. Next up, we've got another trilogy game, the Ratchet and Clank trilogy. Fantastic game. Yeah, I've played the first and the second one on here. Again, I'm waiting for the third one. I can't remember. Let me have a look. I'm hoping the third one's in the cart because I don't have any instructions. So let's hope fingers crossed. Exist Archive. Now, I believe this is quite... a lot of people were singing this praises, but I can't remember if this was an RPG or not, but I got it anyway. If I find something cheap, which looks like it should be more expensive, I buy it. So that was one of them. Well, now this is one I've been wanting to complete for a long time. Now, my Vita had a bit of an issue, and the save memory was on that card over there. So when that disappeared, it gave me the urge to go play this again and play it from the start and actually complete it. And when I did, I fell in love with it. Absolutely great, sort of like a Golden Axe style. Well, Dungeons and Dragons, Tales of Asteria. Is it Asteria Mysteria style game? Except a bit more. There's a lot of grinding involved in it. But yeah, fantastic game. Art style is just something else. So what was that other game that I said? So this is the other V-Blank game. I forgot what it's called. In fact, it's there, Retro City Rampage. So this is the sequel to it. Again, another fairly limited run game because it was published by the guy that made it. So yeah, great series of games. This one added in sort of like a management style sim to the GTA style gameplay. So whereas this was more 8-bit, this was actually more 16-bit. And as I say, I had a lot more to it. The comedy's still there. I just prefer the more simplified gameplay on that one, I think. So more Japanese weirdness, because that's what I like. And we've got Drive Girls. So basically, you have some girls that turn into cars, and you just fight things along the way. Yeah, Japan. Enough said. Dylan's going on about this game quite a lot. So this is a Japanese game. I think it's my only Japanese game that I've got. However, it is all in English. And this is Hotline Miami 1 and 2. Again, this is one that the first game is on the cart. The second game you have to download, which I haven't tried yet. So don't steal my code yet. But yeah, it comes with all the gubbins inside. Great game. I love this art style. It was one game that I actually didn't think I would enjoy, to be honest, because it just looked a bit simple, but it turned out to be bloody amazing. It's almost like a puzzle game. You have to like go through sort of like over the top levels like this, shooting everyone along the way, and it takes you multiple attempts just to get through to the next floor or whatever it is, or the next mission. Just because there's just gone bullets flying everywhere, but once you figure out the patterns that's needed, yeah, it's very addictive, to be honest. Next up, Octodad Deadliest Catch, another limited run game that's open and played. Yeah, so this is a very weird game. You basically are an octopus, and you have to go around doing normal dad-like tasks like going to the supermarket and mowing the lawn and stuff like that. But you have to control each limb separately. So you use the thumbsticks for the left and the right thumbsticks for the right hand side, and then you use different buttons to say which of the limbs that you're going to move. Yeah, it's very weird physics based sort of platformer. Very fun, kind of very unique. Oof, oof, oof. Soldnia Final Prototype X2. Yeah, just shmup porn. Yeah, just look at it. Go get it. That's all I need to say. That is just a brilliant one. I've even got it on the PlayStation 4 as well. It's that good. Demetrios, The Big Cynical Adventure. Another Red Art game. This one is a point-and-click adventure. I've not played it yet. I've heard mixed reviews about it. But yeah, I will do one day. Wow, this one. This is a limited run game. And this is one of the... I said this is going to be the last one I actually bought from him. I can't remember if I might have bought a couple more since then, I can't remember. But the reason why I said this is going to be the last one is because this was announced this very early on, like the first or second game that they announced to come out physically through limited run, and it took them 2 years to actually even get a pre-order for it. But I mean, look at that booklet. It's flipping amazing. The booklet makes it look a lot more daunting than the gameplay actually is. It's very basic. It's a very basic RPG, but quite fun. Sort of like a Chrono Trigger styley, bit more, I don't know, maybe cyberpunky, but maybe not. Vita Collection. This is another strictly limited game. This is release number 19, number 1527. So this is a collection of 2 different Visara games which were only released at the arcade at this point. So it's the first time this has come onto the console. Yeah, really cool game. I've played this on my main system, so I don't really need to open it. But what's quite cool about this is you can actually play the game in tape mode on your Vita. So you can have your Vita like that and flip it around, and then you can play the game in a portrait style, which is known as Tate, or Tate, or Tate, as some people call it. Criminal Girls Invite Only, another cutesy girl RPG, and yes, I have completed this one and I enjoyed it. It was quite good. I really like this kind of game. I'm a bit of a sucker for it. There is a sequel to this. I need to get it one day. As I say, I really did enjoy this one. Another game that I believe is very pervy. I don't fully know why or anything. What kind of game is it? Does it say? Weaponized women powered by pleasure. I mean, that tagline just makes me want to play it straight away. One game that you need to be on your own for. Shirin the Wanderer. I know Big Game Al was asking about this game, if this was any good. And I believe this is sort of like a multiplayer dungeon crawler, I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Shirin the Wanderer. Looks good. And that's all I need to know. Odin Sphere, oh my goodness, one that I have definitely played. Again, Grand Kingdom, I was actually playing that the other day on the PlayStation 4. But yeah, so this is sort of like another 2D platformer style RPG. Again, part of the Atlas style games. But yeah, fantastic. It came out originally on the PlayStation 2, then came out on the PlayStation 3 and Vita, and then got remastered on the PlayStation 4. So it's had quite a history. And again, as I say, I prefer to play them kind of games on the go. And one that shouldn't have been possible on the Vita, and that was Borderlands 2. So this game is a PlayStation 3 game and Xbox 360 game, and it's quite a long, big game. Oops, don't read that. So this is sort of like an RPG first-person shooter, and it's got a lot of comedy throughout the game. Yeah, it was slated quite a lot because it used to have so many problems. When I started playing it, it would crash every, half hour or something. But then an update came out and it just solved everything. It would crash every so often still, but it was a lot more playable. And yeah, I completed it on my Vita because, again, long games that are more than like 20 hours, I just prefer to play on the go. We have got Child of Light, which is another one of the 2D style side-scrolling RPGs. This one is very good. It's quite basic. It's not a very hard game or anything, but it's one that kind of evokes a lot of emotion, and that's what its style is trying to do. Fantastic game. Loved it. Earth Defense Force 2. Oh my goodness. This series is absolutely amazing. It's basically another Horde style game where it's very B-movie like, where you're fighting against a lot of insects basically. Again, a long series that started off on the PlayStation 2. In fact, this is a port of a PlayStation 2 one. I can't remember which one it is exactly. As I say, there's quite a lot of Earth Defense games. And we're nearly at the end. We've got Lego Jurassic World on the Vita. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the Lego games. I just play them. And I've just realised I've got Lego Star Wars somewhere. I think that's actually at my work, because that's where I was playing it last. Again, great game if you like that kind of a thing. In fact, here is the actual cartridge for it, because it was in my penultimate game Metal Gear Solid HD collection again, one that came with my Vita initially, and a nice way to finish off the collection, as this is a great game and is one I'm actually playing at the moment. So yeah, that's my Vita collection. Some pretty rarities in there. There's some that is worth quite a lot of money, but more importantly, there's quite a lot of games that are worth playing, and that's what I cherish the most, to be honest. That's what I look for in games, especially these days. So anyway, with that, I will see you later. Goodbye.